Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Glock. I'm back with another YouTube video. Hey, man, today we got Young Thug pleads guilty to multiple charges in the YSL charge. In the RICO trial, hey, you new to the channel, man, make sure you drop a like on the video. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about it, man. Subscribe, man. Don't forget to subscribe. Tap in with your boy. We're on the road 250, man. Let's get straight into it. Let's go.
Just as there would be from a conviction following a trial. For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment. Do you understand that, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or if you use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony, which may carry a sentence of up to 1 to 15 years in prison?
She's trying to get that man 40 years and wanted him to serve 25. Are you crazy, bro?
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to that if you continued at trial, rather, you would continue to have the right to a trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you, and the right to testify or to remain silent and not incriminate yourself? Do you understand all of those things?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights? The right to a trial by jury. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself.
Yes.
The right to confront witnesses against you.
I was locked in early. When I seen this, I was like, oh my God.
The right to continued assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at the continued trial of your case.
Yes.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
Yes.
The right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence.
Once the judge came
The
in,
right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence.
Say what he had to say.
The right to have the charges against you proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
He definitely going home.
Yes.
The right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Well, Your Honor, may I interject?
You may.
Your Honor, on count 1, which is the racketeering conspiracy count, Mr. Williams is tendering a plea under nolo contendere. As to count 56, which is participation in a criminal street gang activity as being a leader or a supervisor or organizer, Mr. Williams is also tendering a plea to this honorable court as
W
nolo
lawyer.
contendere.
W attorney, like, bro.
The balance of the counts, so he is tendering a guilty plea.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
would the court like to hear from the state or not?
About the NOLO issues?
Yes.
Sure.
Your Honor, the state asked that the court not accept a NOLO plea and require either a guilty plea or a not guilty plea as to these charges.
They're not.
I'm going to permit a NOLO plea as to counts 1 and 56.
All right. Mr. Williams, as to count 57, participation in criminal street gang activity, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I plead guilty.
As to count 58, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty.
As to count 59, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to
Guilty.
count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, how do you plead?
Nolo.
Nolo.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge, how do you plead?
Nolo.
Nolo.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
As to count, thank you, Your Honor. As to count 62, possession of a machine gun, how do you plead?
Guilty. Yo, Chad, I was locked in on this earlier, bro.
Are you
Oh,
pleading
gosh.
guilty to the offenses you have indicated because you are in fact guilty of these charges?
Yes.
All right.
But it was good when Mr.
Are your
Steele
guilty
got
pleas
to say
and
his
your NOLO
part.
pleas
was
freely
good,
and
bro.
voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
But like, Mr.
Do you
Steele,
understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this
Thug
guilty
and,
plea conviction?
Judge.
Yes.
Judge Rage.
Do you understand that you have
Or all
only
of
4
them, all
years
of their like
today's date for a felony
feel me?
charge,
stuff
and
was
12
together.
months from today's date you don't have a misdemeanor charge? But
Like,
to file a
stuff they
habeas
were saying,
corpus
it
petition
overruled
challenging the
Mr. Love
voluntariness and
was saying.
constitutionality of this guilty plea.
Yes.
Your Honor, also, do you,
You have
my-
30 days from
I was-
today to file a direct appeal from this guilty plea, and until the end of this term of court to file a motion seeking to withdraw the guilty plea, which does not mean it would be granted, but that's the time period, okay?
What's a direct appeal?
Well, you can talk to your attorneys more about it, but it would be up to one of the, like the Court of Appeals, I think is where this one would go. Those are just the time periods.
and Your Honor, the state, in addition to the sentence we are asking that the court to
Now,
impose,
Chad, listen to this
we
sentence,
would
bro.
also
Listen
be
to the
asking the court to require or to forfeit, have defendant forfeit all of the property that has been
Like, bro,
seized and that is
do-
currently
do
being
you-
held.
Do you hear what she just
All
said,
the
bro?
property that
She want
has
him
been
to
seized, forfeit, have
all of his
defendant
properties
to
that they had seized.
require
No, nobody
or
agreeing
to
to that,
forfeit, have defendant forfeit all the
Nobody
property
agreeing to
that
that, bro.
has been seized and that is currently being held,
Bro. Nobody agreeing to that.
that was found or recovered or taken from his home after it was searched on
Nobody
May
agreeing to
9th.
that, bro.
Do you have any kind of list of what that property is? I mean, I'm not familiar with what was seized.
And Your Honor, we're
We
not
do,
agreeing.
and that-
Not going with that,
Oh,
bro.
I mean, I assume y'all aren't agreeing to anything.
We're not
You
agreeing
would
to that.
Present it as a negotiated plea.
we're not. But we do have a list of the
All right.
property items.
Do you have it where available right now?
Yes, actually, would the court permit us to send it electronically?
Sure,
Because
that's fine. And then if that is not imposed as a condition, is it just get litigated as like any forfeiture matter?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it would be litigated later
s-
on,
It's
yes.
a civil separate filing
Okay.
in this court. It's not related to the criminal.
All right.
It's related case, but it's unrelated.
Understood.
And we are sending that to Your Honor
Thank you.
at this time. And as it relates to the conditions of a conviction under 1615-4,
It's
Your
crazy,
Honor,
bro, like,
we would ask,
the-
or as part of the sentence, defendant
like,
would
she
be
wanted
required
is
to
crazy.
adhere
Like, no, stop,
to the requirements, the sentencing requirements of the gang statute, which
Not
at
to
least
get-
in
no,
part
bro.
require that he not associate with any gang members whatsoever. And I can read the rest of that into the record if the court requires, or I can continue with the factual basis.
All right, and let me ask you, because I know that at least while y'all
there was
were
a lot going on, bro,
negotiating,
but-
one of the
Hey, Chad.
things that I
Let me know
guess
what y'all
was
think
being
about this, man.
negotiated was
Subscribe,
some
man.
exception
Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, we're on the road to
for, I
250
think, somebody
subscribers, man.
that
This tribe been
is
crazy, but
contractually
Thug
obligated
finally get to
on
come
his
home, man.
record
That's
label.
really what it is, bro.
Is that something
Hey,
that the state would
spoke a
still
lot.
be in agreement to?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.